Hello, everyone. My name's Hank Setala,
And I am Casey MacBride.
and we're here with another fun episode of Stir Crazy Shamans.
Feel like I'm on one of those virtual roller coaster rides, or
Oh
you
yeah,
watch them go through it. I'm flying
absolutely.
through the mountains with
While
our
you're
logo.
flying through the mountains, remember to go make the stream public on your page.
Oh, okay.
And I'm remembering the same thing for myself. Welcome, everyone. Today is a very special day. I don't know, Casey. Do you know what today is?
Friday.
It is a Friday, but it's a very special Friday. Today is 1 year. 1 year streaming.
Oh, wow. That is a momentous occasion.
It is our 1 year. No, I might be off a day, but that we started. I think it might even be exactly a year. I have to go look at when the first video was actually streamed. But it was because I just had the thing come back from StreamYard that I had to pay the annual subscription, and I was like, oh man, that means the 1 year anniversary is coming up. It's like around the corner, and I believe it's today.
Oh, that's cool. Well, happy 1 year anniversary to us and all of you beautiful people who have been following us. Welcome. We're here to create a lot of magic, and we're going to continue creating a lot of magic. But yeah, that's what we do. For all of you guys who are just joining for the first time, we just talk possibility, and we want you guys to be engaged. Let us know what you want to hear about. Between us, we have many years of experience exploring all different fascinating facets of spirituality and metaphysics. And so, whatever you guys want to hear us talk about, we're here talking to inspire and for you guys, really, we talk all the time on our own, but we come on the live stream to do that for you. So whatever you guys want to hear about, comment, let us know what it is.
And that's why we have our tagline for stircrazyshamans.com, and the title for today is Changing the World Through Sacred Play, because none of this is to be taken seriously. And we have the word in Quechua, Puklei, which means sacred play, and it is about changing, just going through it with the energy of a child and that childlike wonder. Things can come so much easier in order to create possibilities in your life, to heal things, if you can come from it from a place that's not too serious. It brings us And we have Mike saying good morning and happy anniversary. We have Debbie saying happy anniversary. Thank you so much. This is cool. It's our anniversary of me and Casey's bromance online. Thank you so much for joining us.
Love it. So I had a thought, and then it was like poof. Said that, but it'll come back maybe. So that's where I'm at right now. Isn't that a beautiful space to be in?
It is. And we, on the show that Dr. Gakay and I do, we go poof all the time. And somebody that was a listener called it Poof the Magic Dragon. So now that we have an entity that is responsible for what this does. Yeah, so poof. We just have to ask the dragon, get back your inspiration. But while Casey's trying to think of that type of thing, truly, whatever you guys want to hear about, especially going forward into the next year of streaming, what content can we create that would create possibilities and healing and fun in your life? And well, I'm thinking about this too. We are going to be planning local excursions. If you want to find out about those things, there is a meetup. If you go to meetup.com, type in Stir Crazy Shamans, you're going to find our local meetup, and we're going to be posting nature hikes, ceremony places in the park, healings, all kinds of things like that. In fact, let's plan our first one here in the next couple of weeks so we can get it out for people. But we had a lot of
you know what? I have a lot of my spiritual journey has been on my own and learning directly from the spirits, and you can accomplish a lot that way. And whether or not you're practicing with people in a community a lot or not, you still need to do your own daily practice, whatever it is, if you're trying to develop yourself. If you're trying to meditate or learn how to do healing or whatever it is, you need a daily practice. However, my spirits, especially in the past few years, have been driving home this point of just the immense importance of community with my fellow human beings while I am here on Earth. Community. They keep driving that into my head. And so, it's amazing when we come together and we share energy and space, whatever it is we're doing. If we're coming together to heal, if we're coming together to learn to commune with the nature beings, if we're coming together just to share and grow in whatever whatever we're trying to whatever energy comes forth that day. When we come together as a group and share that energy, if we are focused on one thing as a collective, man, does that just synergistically amplify the power of whatever work we're doing. So it's amazing if you can come out to one of these group events. It's really powerful.
And if you can't even like just showing up like this, and that's what Zane has been really driving home in the last couple of weeks of our apprenticeship from last year, is that the whole need for community and the way that we're going forward with the program to create more community. Why don't we talk about that actually? Because we have the next program coming up, and that's what started all of this. Is Casey and I he came to me for a session, but what really started our connection and on the level that we're at is like through our teachers, Don Zane Kerpin, through Spirit Lodge series, and then the program. It just gave us such a base of what's the word I want to use? Just an amazing experience going through together to anchor these things and to flower in community and offering what we're doing to the world. Why not talk a little bit about the tradition today and kind of honoring what kind of brought it all? And thank you to Don Zane Kerpin. I was going to ask him to come on today actually, but he's actually right now being a guest on the Friday Focus with my friend Jake. Zane is entertaining elsewhere, but we definitely want to have him on and talk about everything. I've done like 3 interviews with him that posted to the Emergence of Being channel. But well, why don't you start? Just so better construed.
Yeah, like I said, so for me, I am within the Paco Kuna tradition, which is the tradition of nature mysticism and healing, all that we're trained in. You call it a shamanic tradition. That's like a catch-all term for any kind of indigenous or nature mystic practice nowadays. But I am what's known as a Kamaska. So from birth, Kamaska means, well, there's many different meanings for it, but it means like natural or like chosen by the spirit. So from a young age, I've just had this natural ability to directly communicate with spirit and perform healings and do all of this stuff without any kind of training. And so that's why I say I'm like a spirit taught shaman. For the majority of my life, I learned directly from this connection that I kind of innately had with spirit. And I could do all kinds of really potent, powerful things, not just with healing, but I mean, I could even at points in my life perform like powerful feats of telekinesis and like other amazing things. And even like telepathy, like I could do controlled telepathy, all these incredible things. But I was so tapped into that power that it caused a lot of chaos in my life because I didn't have the organization. I didn't know, how to deal with all of these things, how to organize it within my energy field, within my mind, and what to do with certain aspects of the things I was experiencing. So there were times in my life where, I heavily medicated myself with like alcohol and other things to consciously suppress my abilities because I was so connected that all the information coming in from spirit got overwhelming and I didn't know how to handle certain things because there was no organization. So I would get all kinds of anxious and I just would suppress and medicate and all of this and I knew that someday I would find a teacher that was going to be the teacher, and I knew when I found him I would know as well. I knew I would know. And there were teachers that kind of came and went. I never really resonated with any of the teachers that showed up, but I did learn really important things from teachers at really important times in my life, and they really helped me to not completely like fall off the path and go crazy. But then meeting and reconnecting with Hank, there were so many synchronicities around this. It was incredible. I won't get into all of those right now because that's a whole story. I could talk for the whole hour just about that. But then the first time I met Zane was at the Spirit Lodge series. So it was like kind of a general like workshop, like multiple iterations of a workshop on just like spiritual development and communication with spirit and stuff. And the second I met this guy, saw his energy and felt him and heard him speak, I was like, that's the guy. I knew. And the second he opened his mouth, I was like, this is the guy I've been looking for my whole life.
I never realized how similar of a story I had, except I had a near-death experience from childbirth, and I just knew things. Like I didn't talk to spirits, but I knew things. And then when I could legally drink, I drank and I knew things. But like Casey,
isn't that a quote from Game of Thrones? Like drink and I know things. It's Tyrion.
I've never watched Game of Thrones, but Melissa quotes me like, "You drank and you knew things," but I had no context or structure to not go crazy with the things that I would know. And then I didn't find shamanism until a little bit later. I went through Fellowships of the Spirit and I got trained as a medium. And it was actually like kind of reverse engineering. Like you would know things and then inserting like an intermediary in between knowing things. Like, well, how do I know these things? Well, this person needs to hear it from a spirit guide. This person needs to hear it from this, or whatever the case is. But like
Right.
Casey, I was like, well, I kept looking for something and I didn't know what, but I knew I would know when I knew, right? And my friend Dave Orlasky had given me these little chumpy stones as a gift, which are these stones in the tradition. I don't have them here. We'll have them for a future time. But he didn't know how to use them. He got no training with them. And I started to look for a teacher. And then I found Zane. And for my very first Pachamama, for my very first ceremony, I knew this is it. This is what, and what I found is that the tradition, it doesn't matter if you're a practicing Buddhist, Christian, recovering Catholic, atheist, whatever, the tradition can encompass everything because it's a spiritual practice, not a religion.
Right.
And they even say, as an Ultima Messiah, a 4-level priest of the tradition, you could be fully embodied as a Catholic, fully embodied as a Buddhist, fully embodied as a pagan or a Wiccan, and find no conflict in being able to fully be in those traditions when you're doing them, and then be able to step out and do something else. It's like a wonderful way of being able to organize things. And it gave me, for the first time in my life, the ability to know things and not drink, really, like
Yeah.
well, I got sober quite some years ago, but to be able to have a framework to just be in full awareness and not go crazy over it.
Yeah, and a big part of learning was just right from the beginning. Some of the first things he taught, even before the apprenticeship started, was how to move hucha. Hucha is heaviness, right? And so, I would experience all of this discomfort, anxiety, overwhelming feelings, all this stuff, and I didn't know. Just identifying it and knowing that's called hucha. You have hucha accumulated in your body. Here's how you move it. Give it to Pachamama. It's a beautiful thing for her. She loves it. And just learning that simple thing, how to move hucha, how to and how to identify what that is in your body and what to do with it. That was life-changing right there. Just that. Just learning to identify the difference between hucha and sami, how to move it. That alone was immensely life-changing.
And I'm going to post the links to the videos that we did with Zane recently, but on transcendentminds.org, that's where Zane is housing like the program that's starting in May. So I'm just throwing it out there that if what we're talking about resonates with you, even if it's not this time around, look at that page. There's some videos that Zane put together and just kind of get a taste from Zane too. Because if you're anything like us, once you meet him, you might be like, he's the one. And the depths of the man's mind. I think I've heard it all from him because I've worked with him for I think just over a decade now. Like there's still things that were taught in my first class that I've never heard him repeat. And then things in each class that are totally new that it's like, man, it's just amazing how much is there that comes out in the classes and everything that it's just mind blowing really when it comes to those.
He's amazing. He's incredible. He really is. And his, he's so humbled and grounded. When I look at his energy field, I can see he is immense, man. His energy is bright and powerful, but he's so grounded. He's so grounded and so humble. And it's just, he's an amazing person. Just to be in his presence is really, really amazing.
One thing I love when he talks about it too, he doesn't look at himself we're apprenticing him, but he would look at it as I'm just a brother on the path that has a few tricks to show you that I learned along the way. And there really isn't a hierarchy in the tradition of someone being better, or if you do have a gift and you're better than someone else, it's your job in the Karo tradition to help the person. Like if someone came in first in a race or has the best recipe for chocolate chip cookies, it's their responsibility to make the person that that doesn't have the best better. And they do it out of the space of collaboration, because they recognize, hey, we're all one here. And by helping, giving away so freely what I know and helping someone that doesn't know it as well or whatnot, that's helping everyone. But there's not this perceived hierarchy of, just like they have different levels of the priesthood, but it's not, they look at it, they're both on the same playing field. They just have different gifts and different focuses, but they both can help each other grow.
Yeah, and that's really beautiful. We have too much competition in the West, man. It's people compete about everything. They compete about who makes more money and this, and then people compete about their suffering and I'm way more miserable than you. Oh, you think you're miserable? This is what happened to me yesterday. And people compete about everything, man. And you get sick of it at a certain point. And so it's beautiful to see people in the tradition, and even in the community of the apprenticeship, coming together and really sharing. And I've never once felt like anyone in the apprenticeship was competing, like, look at me, I'm better at this technique than you. It's like, no, here's how I can show you, oh, you're not getting this, like, let me help you, like, this is what I saw, here's how I look at it, so you can get over that little hurdle you're trying to get over. And
were you the one talking about, there was a researcher, I think it was in an African country, that had like the fruit basket and told the children whoever gets there first wins it? Like that has the same energy. And you probably have more details of the story, but in the story, the kids, instead of racing to this fruit basket, they interlocked hands. Okay,
there's a little preface. So the this psychiatrist or psychologist was studying the general psychology of tribal cultures. So there was an African tribe, and so he was just doing different experiments. And so one of the experiments he did was he put a big basket of fruit. He had a big basket of fruit, and he said, all right, now all line up here and you race, and the first person to touch this tree gets the big fruit basket. And then he was watching them, and he was expecting them, to run and be chasing. These are just little tiny kids, really small kids, and so they all interlocked arms, walked together at the same pace, and then touched the tree at the same time. And the psychologist was kind of like baffled. He's like, well, one of you could have had all that fruit to yourself. Why didn't you guys race and try and get the fruit on your own? And they just said ubutnu. And ubutnu and it was a word that means, I don't know the exact translation of it, but how they explained it was that how can one of us be happy if the rest of us are suffering? We share. If we're happy together, we're all happy together. If we're miserable together, because we're all one. We're all one collective, a group. We're all a part of each other. So it's really, really beautiful.
And then it really raises the question, just like, how much do you choose in life through choices and non-choices that are a result of just the culture that we've lived in, and the impressions from our schools and from society and religion and from our parents and from all these things that you don't even realize? Like, that was just the way that they operated. And it was so foreign to us. Like, what are we disillusioned about from our own upbringing that we can't even see that there could be so many greater possibilities or ways to look at it? And then moving out of that disillusionment and really into the space of puklei, of sacred play.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of puklei, that's a big thing when you're doing whatever work you're doing, especially spiritual work. If you're really serious about something, you have this serious focus, and you're like, oh, I'm really trying to do this healing or this ceremony, and you're like all focused and hard, and that really you feel heavy, you feel slower. Think about, for example, like when you're at work. Like people who work like 9-to-5 type jobs, or have in the past worked those kind of jobs. You remember like looking at that clock, and you're sitting there and you're like, man, just want to get out of here. And you're like, you're not playing at that point. You're not in a very playful mood at all. You're just like, get this work done. I want to get out of here. You're looking at that clock, and it just feels like that 5 minutes is like 10 hours long. But then think of times when you are just having fun, playing, out enjoying, really playing, either out in nature, or like if you play video games, whatever you're doing, whatever your version of play is. And then see how fast time flies by. You're doing something, you're really in the moment, just enjoying having the time of your life. You're like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours. Like, how the hell did 3 hours pass? And so same thing, how we can see that almost like physically slows down the flow of time. Well, same thing. It slows down the flow of energy when we come to do spiritual work or whatever we're doing with this kind of serious energy. It slows down the flow of energy that's able to flow through the healing work, the ceremony, the ritual, whatever it is we're doing. Whereas if we're doing healing work or ceremony and we're just playing, having fun and playing, even if we're working on a rather serious issue, someone has really particular, horrible pain or, some disease or something. If we're really serious about that, trying to fix that thing, we're only getting in our own way. But if we're just playing, moving, calling the spirits, and we're having a good time and all that, the energy just flows so much more freely, so much more quickly, and amazing change happens, almost instantaneously sometimes when you're really playful with it. Right. It's amazing.
And a clearing that was kind of downloaded to go with that. And for those of you who don't know, clearing is just this ability to identify an energy and then get rid of things that prevent you from stepping into it. So what has everybody made so vital, valuable, and real about conforming to the societal norms that they cannot hear and follow the impulse of their own soul? And everything that doesn't allow that, we destroy it and create it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Whoa.
It's funny. Sometimes you say things, and I think it's just because our brains work differently. But like you speak fast sometimes. I'm looking at you, and I heard every word that you said. I don't know what you said at all.
Oh, good.
About this, I heard societal norms. That was the only thing.
Well, you could go back and listen to it. Well, when it comes to a clearing, part of the goal is to not give the mind a chance.
The time to get in the way.
Because an NLP would call it an interrupt, you know. But it's like you bring up the energy, and before the brain can figure out what happened, like you already did the subconscious shift, and then and the brain's just like, "WTF, mate? What just happened?" So it is on purpose. But I could do it. So
okay.
What have you made so vital, valuable, and real about conforming to the societal norms that you cannot hear and follow the impulse of one's soul?
Gotcha. See, I understood that time.
Yeah, and this time I did it slower. But everything that allows that to occur in one's life and allows you to choose that instead of the following the knowing of the soul, destroy it and create everything that allows that. So right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Indeed. So I don't know why I'm feeling called. I want to share this with people. So I've been learning, and I'm just going to step off of the tradition for a second, then we can hop back on. But one of the things that we learn in the tradition is very important is the breath. It's so vital. Whether we're doing certain techniques that we learn to like expand the energy field and awaken the energy body. There's a certain like breath technique that we do, like really intense kind of breath work, or like a lot of what we do, when we're infusing like leaves with our prayers to make an offering, it's through the breath, or we do a little baby's breath, and then when we're moving energy and things, calling in the spirits, we do pukuis, powerful breaths where we charge our breath and combine it with an intention and flow it. So the breath is this vitally important thing. And I've been finding as I'm doing more of these other kinds of breath work, it's amazing. I think that I am like my body's attuning to it. Whereas before, in order to experience certain things, like because there are forms of breath work, if for any of you who practiced it before, if you're doing really intense breath work after you've been like doing circular, like dynamic breathing for a while, you start to feel really tingly and powerful sensations. And you get like really high on your own supply, these endogenous chemicals start flowing, your blood alkalinity changes, all this stuff happens. But before, I would have to breathe for at least like 10 minutes before I experienced a good shift like that in my consciousness. And now I can do it in a single breath, but also if I just do 10 breaths and then a breath hold at the top, it is amazing, the shift. Like it's like a crazy drug experience for me, just with 10 breaths and a breath hold. So I wanted to guide everyone through this, and you may not experience this level of change yet because it takes time to build up like your ability to pull in the energy and everything. But I want people to just take note of how much of a shift they feel in their awareness and in the sensation in their body after just 10 breaths. So if everyone can just follow along with me for this exercise, a couple of warnings: don't do this while you're driving. If you are driving a vehicle or anything like that, ignore this. Don't follow along with this because there is a slight possibility, especially if you have any kind of heart condition. I wouldn't recommend really doing it. But also there's a slight possibility that you could faint if you're really sensitive. So make sure you're either lying down or you're very supported in a chair where you're not going to fall over if you do start to dip out. It's not very likely that that's going to happen, but that is a risk. So I just had to share that. So you're going to follow along with me. 10 breaths. So these breaths are going to be deep, full breaths. You breathe into the diaphragm, so you should feel your stomach expand. Deep into the stomach, high into the chest, full breath, and then really let the breath fall out and full breath out. We're going to do 10 breaths, and they're circular breaths, so there's no pause at the top of the bottom. So it kind of sounds like this if I'm exaggerating in a bit. Full breaths. We're going to do 10 breaths, and then we're going to breathe in a full breath, and on top of that breath, when you breathe all the breath in, we're going to breathe in a little bit more. So you take that last full breath, breathe a little more, and then hold. And we're going to hold that. Relax the shoulders. Sit up straight. Or if you're lying down, just lie straight. And then we're going to hold that for a bit and then exhale. And I want you to take note before we start this. Check in with your body. How do you feel right now? The areas of your body that are tense. Areas of your body where there's heaviness. How's your mind? How's your mental activity? Are your thoughts going a million miles a minute? Are they slow? Just really tune in with yourself. How are you feeling in this moment? How do you feel? And now follow along and let's do 10 conscious breaths with a breath hold. These are deep, full breaths and it should be a little intense. You should really be going for it. So follow along with me now, starting 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in and hold. Oh. I just went to outer space there for a moment. Oh, my audio's not working. Can you guys hear me? Oops. Okay, I can't hear you. Something went out on my audio. I literally just, so how are you guys feeling? Check in with the body now. Yeah, I went to outer space there. I left. So that is what happens with me when I do this kind of breathing. And I'm going to try and figure out my audio here. So I'm going to turn off my headphones while I'm talking. And then I'm going to turn them back on. But yeah, for me, it really releases this like endogenous DMT, these opioids, these different hormones. And I really like just go to a different place. And right then, when I was kind of like, oh, I let out that big breath, I was like in this internal outer space environment. It's the craziest thing that happens. So I just turned back on my headphones and let me know, say something. I still can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Oh, I just heard it. Try again. Say something. What happened, man? That's weird. I went to outer space and then I lost my audio. Headphones connected on. Yeah, I can't hear anything. I don't know. Oh, here. Let's go. Camera, mic, audio, default headset. It's working there. Okay, everyone make a comment real quick. And Hank messaged me and said, check your plug. There's no plug. It's their wireless headphones. Oh, it was you, Hank.
No,
so Anna just commented and said, I can't hear Hank. So your audio went out, but I can hear you now. Huh?
Okay. Good.
So we're all good. Okay. Anyway, sorry about all that. Anyway, so everyone, how did you feel versus before and after that experience? How does your state feel now? How does your body feel? How are your thoughts? Are your thoughts slower? Is there more space in the body? Are you more relaxed? Check in. How do you feel? How was that for you, Hank?
Oh, it was good. I had to do mine through the nose though, because about 5 breaths in, like the experience in my throat, I would have had to start coughing. So I switched to breathing through the nose, which was my only hiccup along the way.
No, and that's good. You can breathe through the nose. That actually creates more nitric oxide, I think it is.
Yep. Which is what we create sound healing, by the way. Cool thing.
Yeah.
It's a really good compliment.
The physiology behind it is just, what is this? Anna was saying, felt like when I first walked out of the sauna, very relaxed. Yeah, it's amazing. And that was 10 breaths. 10 breaths we took, and it can create that big of a shift. Now, I went a little further than I had intended to there. I went like way to outer space, but that's what happens when you get really sensitive to it, when you really tune your body to it. Man, I mean, even just a few breaths, you can take yourself to this whole different, almost like psychedelic like space. But for the average person who's not as sensitive as me, it's just going to create a very deeply relaxed sensation like that. Like you said, you could go to a spa and spend a lot of time in a sauna, which is a beautiful thing to do, or you can take 10 breaths and get the same kind of deep relaxation.
And if you do it enough, even without the breaths, you could tap into that space if you needed to or chose to.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 breaths isn't that hard to do. That's one thing like Barbara Sanson said, who was one of my healing teachers, is the breath is the first and last possession you have in this life. And it's your most important tool as a healer. You always have your breath. You don't always have your crystal bowl or your rattle or your Florida water, but your breath.
Yes.
You got it. Even if you're a prisoner of war, like you got your breath, and if you can use that as a tool to create shifts and change, like what are the unlimited possibilities? And Debbie was offering that she felt her feet tingled and stress in her shoulder was gone, which is one of the things Casey excels at, that just with energy work, is flowing so much energy, either using breath or other tools, through a place of pain, and the pain goes away. It's amazing.
Yeah, so it is. That's really my specialty is in healing, is like physical pain and all of this thing. I just hold space, like call the spirits in, and like I can reverse even severe pain. Oh, just yesterday I was over at my friend Anthony and Mary's house with the Positive Pineapple, who we're going to play a video of one of their experiences that they offer on a weekly basis. But I was over at their place and I was working on his his cousin Jimmy. And his cousin Jimmy is disabled to a certain degree. He has severe back pain. He said he was in a car accident, his like vertebrae are out of line and all this horrible stuff. And so he came over and he was really in pain, especially that day. When he came over, we filmed it. We got him talking about his experience and, and how it affects him on a day-to-day basis and all of this. And I did some soul retrieval, did some energy healing for him. And this is a person, again, like almost like borderline disabled because of how severe this pain is. And within 10, 15 minutes, he had no pain in his back. He was amazed. And apart from that, he felt all these other shifts in his awareness. And it was really incredible to be able to film that. So we're kind of doing like a little documentary type, like a mini documentary case study where we're going to work with him. We're going to check back in like a week from now. How are you feeling? If he needs additional work, we're going to do that. And we're going to continue to work with him and show, the world, just what kind of incredible change is powerful through this kind of work, through shamanic healing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have anything to add to that. That was good.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like you were saying, the feet tingle. I am to the point where I'm sensitive enough, just those 10 breaths, I don't just get tingling. Like my whole body goes so incredibly. It is. It's like taking the most powerful drug you could possibly take, but it's all peaceful. It's all wonderful because it's endogenous and it's medicine. It's your own breath. It's the breath of the medicine of the breath. And it's really incredible for me what that does. It's so potent.
And I'm curious, like when you do the breath work, because I hear a lot of tones, and when I've worked with certain things, I'll just get like a certain frequency that I audibly hear of things.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tuned into like different tones of breath work? I haven't mentioned just specifically with breath work, though I have done breath work and had to your point, like an MDMA experience just by going with the breath and doing a very particular breath work. I was like gone for like 3 hours. And I know the vibration very well, but I would hear it audibly. And for me, it's like you just fall like a diver back. And I would be interested in kind of researching it, like paralleling like what breaths made up with what things, and maybe we can map this and like create a little bit more of a structured way of you can use this for that, like when you mentioned the different medicines and things like that.
Yeah, and I think that's really that's going to start to happen more even on like a massive scientific scale because one, like Wim Hof is kind of forcing this stuff to be studied now because he's out there, he's in the public, his video, just as the one video on him taking people through his breathwork technique has 23 million views on YouTube. And so there more people I feel like nowadays have heard of Wim Hof than haven't. And so he's brought breathwork to the forefront. And on top of that, he's like, I want to be studied by scientists. I want the scientists to look into this and prove, and show what's happening inside of the body, inside of the autonomic nervous system, what's happening in the blood, to the immune system, all of this. He's been studied so heavily. So now I think with all of this new information coming to the forefront, they're going to start to study in a much more specific way, what is going on inside of the body? How can we use breath in specific ways? And I think we'll even get to the point where it's like, okay, so say you're feeling frustration. Well, if you're feeling frustration, then you just do this breath where you go or whatever, some combination, and then it's gone. Like there'll be such a specific science. It'll be like you do this exact one, and then that gets rid of that, or this shifts you to that. Like I really think that's where we're headed with this kind of technology eventually, is to have it so incredibly mapped out that you know exactly what breath to do and exactly the situation to bring you back to wherever you want to be, or to take you wherever you want to go. I really think it'll happen.
Well, I just know from a sound perspective, like that, I've started mapping that for myself and like connecting the vibrational quality with the breath. Oh man, what amazing possibilities can we create?
Yeah, and you know, it's where you were saying you fall into a tone, right? For me,
Yeah.
like when I really go on, and I hear tones as well. I hear tones when I do breath work. But one of the things that I get is I find when I'm doing breath work, especially on the breath holds, I'll feel I feel it's like an internal, it's like a sensation tone, right? It's a feeling tone more than a physical tone. It's a frequency, but I feel this little thing, like it's like it just comes up, just a subtle sensation. It's right here, and I know if I dive into that, that will pull me into outer space. So I find that little feeling, it starts to come up. I dive into it, and then I'm just boom, I'm gone. Yeah.
No, the traumatizing thing for me with that is when I get one of those tones while I'm driving, and I'm just like, oh no,
Oh, no.
it's like I can't go right now. I gotta make it to where I'm driving. Oh, so that's always a fun thing. What? Just Magic Mike's making a comment. The god of science and the god of money have different agendas. I don't know what else is possible, Magic Mike.
Yeah. And then Vinny, my friend, he's a client of mine, friend of Anthony and Mary's and ours, has a little sunshine. And he also said, sunshine, smile, and hello. Hello, Vinny. Wonderful to have you here. So glad you're watching. And I look forward to hanging out with you. What is it, tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be hanging out with you tomorrow doing some magical healing work. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Cool. Is tomorrow the plunge, or is that Sunday again?
Oh no, that's Sunday. Yeah, Sunday another plunge is happening. I believe at Hinckley again. But no, Vinny, I see me for a shamanic healing session tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, but speaking of plunges, we have some video footage here. But this was the last stream we were doing when I was talking about this video that was supposed to be on the YouTube channel that I was trying to find. They just uploaded it like a day after we streamed. So here it is now. We're just going to play like a little bit of this and show you kind of what we do, and it's such a cool group dynamic and energy to be a part of. But we do breath work first, and then we hop in the lake. And I think so on this day, someone had one of those thermometer guns, like a radar that like has a little red dot. And so they shined it at the surface of the lake, and it said it was like 45 or something, but that's just the surface where the sun is. So it's a lot colder underneath. And I looked on my phone, and I think it said it was 34 degrees was the lake temperature. So somewhere between 34 and like 46, probably on the lower end, I would imagine, once you actually dunk under. But yeah, play a little bit of this, show like kind of what it's about for those who are interested.
And if you like this, the last two episodes, we talked a lot about it too with some more information. So definitely check out the last two episodes if this resonates with you.
Hi guys, we're out here at Hinckley Lake, the spillway, getting ready
That's
to
Mary.
do a polar plunge. We've got a great group of people out today. Groups keep growing each week. I'm sure it helps with the sunshine being out and it not being as cold.
So this is us doing the breathwork portion to prepare. And these are some of the benefits. I think she's putting these up. These are the benefits of just the cold exposure, if I'm not mistaken. So watch here. So you see me, I'll be doing the breathwork here. And in a minute, you're going to see me sit down. So you'll see. Yeah, so where I sat down right there, I blasted off into outer space, and I was like, I can't be doing this while standing. And that girl next to me did the same thing. She had the same experience, so she had to sit down too. So go ahead and skip a little bit further ahead until you
Step it a little bit. Hold on. It's not easy for me to skip because I don't see the menu here. Here we go. No, I don't have the.
All right, just
Sorry,
play it.
I don't have the fast forward button all of a sudden. Hold on.
Well, there's the bar at the bottom. You can just drag.
Oh, okay. Where do I go to? What point?
Yeah, like right about there where we're jumping on the wall. That's cool. That's good. Yeah. So here, yeah, we're all holding hands. We're all holding hands in this big energy circle. And yeah, the water was cold, man. So Vinny, who's commenting there, he was really feeling it that day, man. He was like shivering and like holding on for your dear life. It was great.
The feeling, the emotion, the sensation, whatever it is, just feel.
So cool to be out there in the Nusta, in Mother Water, experiencing that, because you can do cold exposure, in like a tub or a tank or in your shower, but to be out in nature and really feel the energy of the elements is so incredibly beautiful. But yeah, we were in there for I think a total of 5 minutes. We were in the cold water.
Now, curious, like in our practice, we have that hump by moonlight type thing. Have you thought about talk to Anthony about like walking people through that exercise while you're doing it?
Yeah, and I was actually running that energy while people weren't conscious of, but I have taken Anthony and Mary through Hump by Moonlight, where we're just together in like a group. I sat there and talked them through what we were doing, and we went through and generated Hump by Moonlight. So now they're familiar with that. That might be a really cool thing to do in the water.
And Vinny was saying, I did as well. He almost passed out. So
yeah, you can, man. There's a risk of passing out when you do breath work. And I go to outer space almost every single time I do breath work. Because if I'm not passing out, I'm definitely like expanding out of body. It's wild. And Vinny said, it has happened even with people that have bad scoliosis, orthopedic breathing. People have cured themselves completely from this by breath work. And not just that, man, but and Vinny was just saying hello. Yeah, and not just that, not just that particular, but so many things. Autoimmune diseases is a big one. A whole wide range and variety of autoimmune diseases can be cured through breath work. Depression and anxiety are big things that there's
like
addictions. Yeah,
like you can breathe through addictions and things. That's why I was asking Zane on our last class about that, because I have a client that has things keep popping up, and it's like, well, I can use breath work guiding them through that, to giving them a tool when you do have the impulses to do something different and clearing the energy of wherever that original wound is.
Yeah, it can be used for so many, and it's the incredible thing is it's so accessible to everyone. Anyone can do this if you just have a little bit of discipline, you practice. Anyone can benefit from breath work, because like shamanic healing. Well, first off, you have to just happen to have a shamanic healer in your area. But even then, you have to schedule an appointment, get in, and it costs money. Also, that's a factor for people. But with the breath, it's free. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and it's such a potent tool too. So I think it's really going to be the way of the future in terms of people treating themselves for a whole number of things. So people are going to start to turn to the breath more and more.
Now, should I play more of this, or
that's probably good?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll stop doing that. Cool. That's so cool. I love this technology with the streaming.
Like
really how much we could share and everything. And we'll have it better prepared hopefully next time, where I have like the controls here, because for me, I couldn't, the bottom of the screen, like the bar wasn't there. I couldn't do that unless I like made the screen small. It was weird. I didn't have it on my computer. So anyway, technology gods have been messing with me today. Dr. K and I had issues. We had an issue just now. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. I was telling Hank this. He was helping me the other day. We're switching over to a new scheduling software, and maybe this was like a week or two ago now. I don't know, but there's not a lot of things in this world that trigger me anymore. I mean, I go through a lot. I've been through so much, and I've done so much inner work. There's really very few things that can make me feel agitated. Especially very few things that can make me feel angry or agitated. Very few things will trigger me. But for whatever reason, technology is this trigger. So it's amazing. The things that technology does for me, I love so much. The interconnectivity of being able, despite being, thousands of miles apart from people, to be able to just pick up, hear their voice, see their face, all this incredible stuff. It's amazing. I love it. But when
Well,
something goes wrong.
It's
Even
very profitable for me though, because I did some technology things for him, but he has to buy me my favorite vegan soup. So I'm happy
Right.
that he gets triggered because I'm like, hey, I'll do that for you, brother, but you gotta buy, but you gotta buy me some food.
Oh, yeah, but it's one little tiny thing goes wrong with technology when I'm trying to figure something out. And I don't know what it is. I just get so incredibly triggered, and I can't think of what possibly could be the wound or like what's getting stirred. That triggers me so much. But it's funny, but I know a lot of people that are like that. I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people that are like that with technology. A number of my friends I've talked to have the same experience. Little thing goes wrong, and they just like blow up. So I don't know what that is.
Nope, we all have that stuff though. I have my little triggers too. Like sometimes you're the venom for me and I'm the venom for you. And then, but the
Yeah.
cool thing is that when you have it show up, that you have the awareness of it, you can work through it and then also barter for free soup.
Indeed. It's all about that soup. Oh man, I could go for some of that soup. There's this place by us.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's a Vietnamese place, and they have this vegan egg noodle soup. Oh my goodness, it's heavenly. It's like a cross between ramen and pho or something. But the broth is just so incredibly flavorful.
Especially if you get it dragon hot. That's how I like it.
Yeah, you get different spiciness levels. Hank gets to like melt your eyeballs out of your face level spicy.
I like that kind of spicy. I even got Dr. K hooked on it now, but she's like doing this bodybuilding thing and she's like really going crazy, doing all this like lifting and stuff, preparing for like one of those body shows.
Oh, that's cool.
That's like super disciplined.
I saw her profile picture just standing there. I'm like, man, she's got some guns.
Yeah, I was like, man, I better be nice to her because she could break me at this point.
For real. Oh.
Oh, and I just got the message Zane's stream went well. We're going to have, for those of you, we were talking about Zane earlier, he was just on the Friday Focus, and the video is being rendered, and I'm going to be able to post that as a YouTube video on my channel. Jake is going to send it to me. So if anybody who wants to get a taste of Zane, I'll have a video of his appearance on the Friday Focus a little bit later today. I'll probably post it over the weekend. So check that out. I'll put that on the Emergence of Being channel for those of you who want that. Speaking of, we broadcast all kinds of places, folks. So if you really want to like support and get all the content that we offer, you have Shaman's Way, you have the Sonic Shaman, you have Emergence of Being, you have Stir Crazy Shamans. There's 4 different YouTube channels that we potentially post things to, and you can find links to all of it at emergenceofbeing.com under live streams. You can click any of the shows and find the places to subscribe to get the content when we're going live, because we don't always go to all the places. So
yeah, absolutely. And check out Shaman's Way. The logo's up there. I may later today. I said this last time and I didn't do it, but I am going to be going on and doing another live stream soon. But I also have more videos filmed. So I've got all these cool demonstrations, like live demonstrations out in beautiful nature settings of me performing these healings for people. So I think I'm going to upload one either today or tomorrow. So subscribe to the channel
and that's Casey's logo, Shaman's Way.
Yeah.
And this is our Stir Crazy Shamans one. If you're looking for me, you'll see like that my HS for Hank Setala, because I chose a while back that I'm my brand. So, but you can if you go to Emergence of Being, they're all there in one place. But you can subscribe to all the channels because it's just we do different things, and I focus more on having guests on and doing more like self-help talks and different things, because I'm more of a yat chai, though I am going to be doing tuning fork stuff soon. I brought home some tuning forks. I'm going to do my tuning fork Tuesday video today so I can post it on Tuesday when I never do it.
Yeah.
So you can look forward to that. And Vinny's saying, awesome. Probably very excited to see your healing video. I actually recorded some stuff with Casey for doing my own healing compilation video and then never did anything with it.
Oh, yeah, they're on my hard drive.
Yeah, so I should get that for you. That could be like I've been like, for me, a trigger, like Casey didn't like technology. I have had this huge resistance to video editing. Huge resistance. Yeah. And like a stepping stone for me is like I had the awareness that my podcasts weren't podcast friendly. So I like took a day and like edited 35 audio files. And that was like a stepping stone for me, because I realized that video is probably not that much harder.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
But as soon as like you would bring up video editing, like Casey brings up video, and I'm like, nope, not even thinking about it.
Yeah, I remember the one day I felt a lot of like hoocha was triggered when I he asked me to film these testimonials for the apprenticeship, and so I felt like, because I have my phone and like there's individual questions, so I look at the question, set it up, film my response, like the next question, film the next video. And I told him, all right, I sent the video files. And he's like, wait a minute. This isn't all just like one thing that's good to go. And I'm like, no, like, yeah, you're going to have to,
No, and I didn't do anything. Zane told me to do it.
but I
Everybody else said I did, though. Like, it was all done and things, and I'm like, I'm not video editing anything because
oh yeah, he got a little sassy.
Yeah. Well, it was also like it was different than all the other videos, so there was an inconsistency thing. So there was multiple triggers within that, but yeah.
But still, if you were comfortable with video editing, there probably wouldn't have been.
No, but I have no desire. Well, I do have now because like I have the belly dancing class that I need to figure out how to get edited because like on Transcendent Minds, which is where the program is going to be housed that Zane is doing, which I'll throw up the website again if you want to check that out. That is where we're going to have Casey's Spirit Guide Communication series. We're going to be doing.
That'll be cool.
And we can roll that out as a pre-sale too, like where, hey, we're going to be doing this. It's going to be a live class. But what our model is we have the live class, and this is what Zane did last year. He had the kitchen sink approach, which he did this live class through the kitchen sink at the students, literally like it was supposed to be a 30-week apprenticeship that ended up being like a year. And and then from the questions in that, he redesigned it for this year to be more streamlined and to answer the questions up front that people had and break it down in a way that made more sense. So like we're going to have the live beta version of Casey's class that if you sign up for that, you'll probably get the kitchen sink because we're going to be throwing everything at people and then refining that to be more streamlined. But that's all going to be through Transcendent Minds. So what this is,
I have so many people who I talk to because I tell them the way that I do this powerful healing work is through my spirit guides and the spirits that I've developed relationship with. I call them to come help. They come help, and amazing, miraculous healings happen. So people want to, and there's apart from that, more people are aware that spirit guides exist, and there's more and more people who are interested in learning how to get in touch with their spirit guides. So I've developed, and I've taught many people how to do this. So I've yet to have it not work for someone, but I can teach people how to communicate with their spirit guides, how to see them, feel their presence, see them, have a dialogue with them. And then I can teach people how to refine that communication and also how to ask their guides for their own healing, for divination, for themselves, for others, all kinds of cool things. So that's going to be an awesome class when that comes out.
Yeah, and that will be sooner than later because Casey and I met for a create meeting and we kind of outlined it, and then we just have to pick a date really, and we're going to roll it out as a live class first. So you'll just be on 10 Zooms, but it will all be recorded, and you'll have access to it for at least a time if you happen to miss one. But it's really it's so dynamic when you're live on the call because you're energetically in that moment, and exchanging energies. But in the end of the day, in technology age with busy schedules, you still have the recording and you can go back and do it and then ask questions on the next one. But that's the thing. Ask questions, be involved with the material, even if you're not doing it live. It's so important. We've had a handful of people who maybe never watched one of the videos from the Shaman program. I won't say names, but I know they exist. I know they exist. It's like, so you signed up and you didn't watch one video. It's just very interesting. But anyhow, that's going to be rolling out. And then I have my As I Forgive Me self-help series that I'm going to be rolling out. And that's like a free self-help series that I'm going to be doing as a way for people to do their own work. And then for those who want more facilitation, because I'm going down the road like where Casey focuses on physical healing. I'm more in the Yatchai space and working as a life coach, but I also do the sound and the other stuff. So, I mean, we both do them all, but we have our niches of specialty. And then Casey and I were going to roll out like, well, why don't we put together a program that really brings what we each excel at together and roll that out? And that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I have this thing for people who are really serious about wanting to, really transform, move past these things that are holding them back, truly heal on a deep level, commit to, like a couple months worth of healing where you get, all of the work that Hank does, all the mental facilitation, all the sound healing, all that incredible stuff, and the deep physical, emotional facilitation that I'm so good at, and just commit to like a month of, you're going to take this time to really heal. Like I'm committed to heal.
And we could throw Dr. K in there, hook you up to the quantum biofeedback thing, and then find out these are all the things going. These are the supplements that you need. This, really the body, mind, spirit approach, and beyond. Body, being, and beyond. I like to say it that better that way. But oh man, what are the endless possibilities?
Hell yeah, man. I love it.
Like, how does it get any better than this with a little cowboy hat partner? Yeah.
Love it. How does it get any better than that? Oh yeah.
If that's a final takeaway for everybody, whatever's going on in your life, good, bad, or ugly, ask, how does it get any better than this? And the universe will show you how it gets better. Whether you just stubbed your toe, just won the lottery, or just watch the absolute best podcast of your life with Casey and Hank, how does it get any better than that? And really, what are the endless possibilities? And Vinny's like, wow, Vinny, I keep thinking of The Sims. Have you ever played SimCity where you call cousin Vinny? Yeah. So like every time I see Vinny make a comment, I'm like, it's this thing in my mind, like, hey, Vinny, call cousin Vinny and get some money. I don't know. It's just coming up for me. Like, how much is that anchored in my soul from playing that game?
Oh, thank you, Vinny. Thank you for showing up and watching. I hope you. It sounds like you enjoyed. So thank you, and thank you all for being here.
On our 1 year show. If you missed it, this is our 1 year anniversary of Hank and Casey doing Stir Crazy Shamans.
Heck yeah.
How does it get any better than that?
Yeah. Big thank you to everyone.
Yeah, and for our 100th episode, I don't know where I have to count them. Like what our 100th episode will be, but we'll definitely plan something special for that and make sure that I don't know what we'll plan, but we'll do something.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Maybe I don't know. So tune in, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified when we do that episode. You can be here for whatever magic.
Anthony, we want you on the show. You were just always traveling. You have an open invitation anytime you want to be on. We will, and I'm sure Casey can have you on Shaman's Way if you want to come on Sonic Shaman or Emergence of Being. We will.
Anthony probably just finished up with this client. He had a client today. So
it's Stir Crazy. We can have a special episode. We can do it on a day other than Friday. Friday is just the day we chose to consistently be producing content again because we got away from that. But last year during lockdown, like we were on every day. Like
there was a period where we were on pretty much every single day.
And then summer happened, Hoochie happened, but now we're back. And Anna, my dear cousin, my Wilka Nuna Benicha cousin is on. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for showing up and being you. She does a lot of change in the world with her work as well. So, we all have our gifts and our paths and our abilities, and we offer them different ways, whether you're a nurse, a doctor, a dietitian, McDonald's worker. We all have these unique gifts because it's who you're being in the world, not what you're doing, that really makes the difference. So like, what would it take to unlock your gifts? Because that's what our Emergence of Being, everything that we're about is like finding the original wounds, healing those, but really what would it take to get our clients, to get our community to step into their unique voice and offer their medicine gifts to the world in whatever way that is? What world would we live in if everybody started doing that?
Yeah. I love the energy of that.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a goosebumps. It's still going. And everything that stops that, pot and pock. So awesome. This is
all right. Yeah, that sounds like a really good, beautiful conclusion. Oh, and did you pull this up with Vinny saying, he says, absolutely, thank you both. I love this. And I love you, Vinny. I love you.
Yeah, Vinny, I don't even know you, but I love you because from that game you would always bring money.
Then one more. We got Mary from the Positive Pineapple saying, we look forward to being on with you guys. Oh, it'll be so much fun to have you guys on.
And Mary,
that'll be a really cool episode.
I responded to your message. Like if you guys are always, because I do these sound bath concerts, I do it the last Friday of the month. So today's the day. Like for people who can't like come out on a Friday night, if I just leave everything up, I'm considering like offering like an early morning Saturday thing and then putting the concert away. So if that's something that people are interested in, if like a Saturday morning sound bath ceremony and sound experience would be of benefit for next month, we can definitely look at that. If there's interest, we can definitely do it. Cool.
Very cool.
All right. On that happy note, we love you all. A Nike, a Nike, a Nike.
Which
means a dove from my heart to you. Have a good one, guys. Bye.